Remember Salt Bae? The mesmerizing meat maestro with a sprinkle of sass? Well, his recipe for fame has gone sour. We're talking about health code violations, overpriced antics, and a whole lot of disrespect. Get ready for a deep dive into Salt Bae's spectacular flameout, from his $5,000 gold-plated steak that left customers feeling fleeced, to his social media posts that backfired faster than a burnt kebab. 4 seriously injured after a flame show went wrong at one of his restaurants. We'll expose the restaurant closures, his mistreated employees, the uninvited World Cup field invasion that left everyone cringing, and the copyright lawsuit that's got him in hot water. Remember the Venezuelan protests? And how can we forget the Fidel Castro controversy? Plus, how his reunion with his mother got public backlash. This is Influence Unveiled. We create short documentaries in an attempt to peel back the layers of our current social paradigms and unmask the influencer realm. Join us as we pull the curtains back on Salt Bae, the meme-made millionaire. Is he a culinary genius or a one-trick pony?
We are talking about the one, the only, Salt Bae. Salt Bae was one of the hottest memes of all time. Look, I know, and it's easy to get wrapped up in memes and loving someone just from a little sprinkle, but some pretty crazy shit has gone on behind the scenes to do with Salt Bae, his
The
restaurant.
gold leaf is a scam. It's popping bottles at the club. That's all it is. We should do the math on that. What's the multiple factor that Salt Bae is charging because
It makes no difference if you put the gold or if you don't put the gold, but you're going to charge you a lot of money for it, and be ready because you might have to take a second mortgage to pay
When
for
we
that.
opened, they were giving me day shifts. So I literally went up to the manager and asked him, hey, what the hell are you doing? In the back of my mind, I knew it was because most of the other workers were Turkish. I didn't say this earlier, but Salt Bae is Turkish. He's from Turkey.
He seems like a massive fucking prick. It's so funny. Salt Bae lives this fascinating lifestyle from meme to dreams, like I said, to obscene. God, I hate Salt Bae. I made videos on him in the past, but that is not the fucking case. Fame and greed have clearly got to him.
Salt Bae, with his slick back hair and hypnotizing salt sprinkle, has become a global phenomenon. But where did it all begin? Born in 1983, Salt Bae comes from a humble Turkish village. Nusret Gökçe started his journey by working with a local butcher. He then traveled to Buenos Aires, Argentina, where he worked for restaurants and improved his skills. He opened his first ever steakhouse in 2010, Nusr-et in Istanbul. In 2017, a short clip of Nusret's mesmerizing salt technique landed on social media, and bam, the internet exploded. This video clip shared on Instagram was titled Ottoman Steak, showing Nusret slicing a bone-in steak with incredible finesse and finishing the whole thing off with his signature sprinkling of salt. This post was doing quite well, but when Bruno Mars happened to stumble upon the clip and shared it on his Twitter, celebrities like DJ Khaled and Leonardo DiCaprio were lining up for a taste of Nusret's magic. And everyone else was glued to their screens trying to decipher the hypnotic Salt Bae move. Suddenly, Nusret Gökçe became Salt Bae, an internet icon. Parodies flooded YouTube. His face was plastered on everything from t-shirts to phone cases, and even emojis adopted his signature pose. Nusret really capitalized on his memification, posting Instagram videos of himself sprinkling salt out of a helicopter and doing all kinds of other crazy stunts. Salt Bae wasn't just a meme. He was a brand, a walking, salting advertisement for his restaurant empire. With his newfound fame, Salt Bae expanded his restaurant empire. His steakhouse in New York opened in 2018 and was immediately blasted by critics. People were complaining of rubbery and flavorless food. Nicely summarized by a news article, eaters Robert Setsema calls the steaks rubbery and low on flavor. His bill was $320 and he was still hungry. The Post's Steve Cuozzo goes further, calling the restaurant public ripoff number 1. He spent $521 and left craving a snack. Joshua David Stein, in a long dispatch for GQ, writes that the steak is mundane, the hamburger's overcooked, the tartar is over-chopped, there's lots of liquid nitrogen at the bar, and the restaurant servers apparently refuse to serve tap water. One of the most common complaints was that the prices at Salt Bae's restaurant were exorbitant. We're talking about a dish called Golden Tomahawk, which was just a beef steak wrapped in gold foil priced at $1,000. One Twitter user commented, "It's crazy how people buy into theatrics. These prices for Nusr, Salt Bae's restaurant, are ridiculous. This shit is robbery." Social media erupted with accusations of highway robbery disguised as haute cuisine. The critics' reviews also started piling up, with lots of people complaining that the restaurant was way too overpriced after Nusret posted a picture of a $24,500 bill. Some critics also claimed that the restaurant was all show and no taste, quite literally. People agreed that they only went there for the gram, and that the food served was often not of the best quality. A customer even posted a picture of their bill showing how expensive nusr-et is.
Is the steak overcooked or is that me? That thing is gray. What? Seriously? Charge you $2,000 for a goat steak that does not taste like anything differently. It makes no difference if you put the goat or if you don't put the goat, but they're gonna charge you a lot of money for it, and be ready because you might have to take a second mortgage to pay for that meal.
Multiple lawsuits have been filed against Salt Bae, alleging mistreatment of employees with accusations like wage theft, discrimination, and a hostile work environment. In August 2021, 5 former grillers at Nusret's New York steakhouse filed a complaint against him, claiming that his managerial style was extremely aggressive. They accused the celebrity chef of pinning all his mistakes on the employees, cursing and shouting at them for the smallest of things. Of course, that sent a huge wave of shock among people on the internet, who thought of Nusret as an unproblematic chef, minding his own business and making good food.
Holy shit. $1,200 for 2 people?
When I saw that price, I almost had a heart attack.
There are 4 of us sitting right here. If we get the gold covered rib cap for 4, it is $1,750.
As soon as I tried, everyone, including the managers, the waiter, the chef, were all waiting for my reaction, so the pressure was on. But I gave them none. I will say this, is it the best steak I've ever had?
Another employee at Nusret Mykonos compared his boss to a dictator, while another claimed that working for him was like going to the Hunger Games. While Nusret himself didn't respond to the controversy, his lawyer, Christy Reuter, made the following statement. The allegations are really nothing more than a rehash of old lawsuits where the claims were disputed and have long since been settled. But things took a serious turn in 2018 when a fire show at one of his Istanbul restaurants went horribly wrong. 4 people were left with serious injuries. This incident cast a dark shadow over his brand, raising serious concerns about safety protocols and overall management. Just 5 days after the opening of his new restaurant in Boston in 2020, the chef was issued a lawsuit by the city's licensing board for a bunch of health and fire violation notices.
But the city has already shut down the restaurant, citing blocked fire exits and a line of people waiting outside the restaurant on opening day, which violates a state order made in response to the pandemic. Not only that, the restaurant was cited for multiple health code violations in the short time it was open.
The initial inspection failed the restaurant on 9 points, including 2 of its refrigerators being too warm, no space between the hand washing and food storage areas, and incorrect temperatures of dishwashers. The inspectors also noticed that nobody at work was actually making sure that the place was operating in compliance with the food code. When they came back for a second inspection, they found out that most of the issues still hadn't been solved. That's not the end of the drama. In 2022, Salt Bae's Manhattan burger joint was announced to be the worst restaurant in NYC after accusations of sexism started flying around. Turns out, the restaurant had offered a free appetizer-sized veggie ladies burger served in pink buns to only women. Of course, that did not sit well with some. Isn't that a bit sexist? Vegan burgers for the ladies only, haha? And Nusret had to bear the brunt of his controversial marketing tactic. The general manager of the burger joint went on record to talk about how the burger should be taken as a compliment to the ladies that came to eat there, and the intention behind it wasn't sexist at all. One critic said, "And let me tell you, this veggie burger is easily the worst veggie burger I've had in my life." To make matters worse, customers were also outraged over the joint's $99 milkshake with gold flecks and the $100 gold burger, which was nothing but a regular burger wrapped in gold foil. But the one controversy that really takes the cake is the 2022 FIFA World Cup. Now, according to the official rules, the trophy is only supposed to be touched or held by a select group of people. Of course, this includes the winning team in addition to FIFA officials. But the rule was broken in 2022 by none other than Nusret Gökçe. Nusret somehow managed to get all the way down to the ground, taking selfies, holding, kissing, and pretending to sprinkle salt on the actual trophy. Not to mention all his antics to get Messi to notice him. The star athlete ignored him twice before eventually giving in to his demands. In another clip, he actually snatches the trophy from Lisandro Martinez to do the salt sprinkle. And perhaps the worst of all was when he shook his finger at Christian Romero's baby when the young boy tried to grab the trophy.
The Turkish chef was photographed holding the trophy and interacting with the Argentina squad throughout the celebrations, but it appears he shouldn't have been there.
Right after that, the FIFA officials released a statement saying, "Following a review, FIFA has been establishing how individuals gained undue access to the pitch after the closing ceremony at Lusail Stadium on 18 December. The appropriate internal action will be taken." Somehow, the chef had managed to get his hands on a VIP badge that helped him reach the pitch without anyone stopping him. After FIFA launched an investigation into the incident, Nusret came forward with a statement, denying all claims of wanting to steal the team's spotlight. He said that he was just excited for the team's win. The chef claimed that since most of the team members had been to his restaurant, he didn't think there was anything wrong in going up and celebrating with them. Salt Bae's legal troubles aren't limited to disgruntled customers. Brooklyn-based artist Logan Hicks sued him for allegedly using his copyrighted artwork, the iconic salt sprinkling pose, without permission across multiple restaurants. He shared his art world horror story saying,
"We did everything right. We had a contract with big, huge paragraphs and passages and big fancy words and everything else saying that they couldn't use it for this, that, and the other thing, and they still did. And it kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier. If someone wants to fuck you, they're going to fuck you. So
Salt Bae wasn't shy about hobnobbing with controversial figures.
Celebrity chef known as Salt Bae facing new criticism this morning. This video right here going viral of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro feasting on a steak prepared by that chef at his restaurant in Istanbul.
Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro was facing international condemnation for his human rights record. Then there was the photo op with Fidel Castro that resurfaced, raising eyebrows about his political judgment. These associations tarnished his brand for many who believed a chef's focus should be on food, not on making political statements. Salt Bae's personal life also got caught in the crossfire. A video of his dramatic reunion with his mother after not seeing her for 2 years went viral, with some viewers criticizing it as staged and insincere. The internet, ever the judge and jury, deemed the whole thing an elaborate publicity stunt, further eroding his reputation for authenticity. Most recently, Salt Bae has come under fire for cutting the heating in his London restaurant as a way to save energy, leaving his customers shivering as they wait for their food. With several restaurant closures and a tarnished brand image, Salt Bae's empire seems to be shrinking. He continues to operate some Nusret locations, but the internet's fascination with him has faded. At this point, all we can hope is that the chef learns his lesson in time and saves his empire from burning to the ground. His story serves as a cautionary tale for anyone chasing internet fame.